made a mistake at leaving this life. And I am now in limbo 3 weeks later, on the 30th of November after careful planning and preparation. I 48 meters failed in my attempt to die. For more than 12 months I've been trying to live. After I decided in 2020 that I wanted to die. In October 2023 I concluded definitely that I want to die. I'm married for 18 years with 3 daughters. And co-own a couple of businesses we started after exiting successful corporate career of 203. Dying was something I communicated since October to my wife. I made the decision and commitment that my death won't be a trauma event, shooting, hanging, etc., linked to discovery of my body. I found the right medicine to achieve the outcome required, a simple go-to-sleep medicine. I asked friends whom I had confided in to help my wife after my death with running the businesses, making decisions and setting my wife and kids up for a better life after my death. We spent a couple of hours together before the 30th of November, where they asked me details relating to the businesses and how my wife wanted to be helped. To enable them all to help my wife after the 30th of November, she was in the session as well. I've been socially distant in home life. I didn't want to partake in fun events and was happy to be left alone in house full of people. We did not want my kids to know at this point in their lives. I decided to die and started explaining how my blood pressure and heart was giving just concern, trying to lay path of heart attack as cause of death to them. I've been diagnosed with depression 30Y. And refuse to be exposed to treatments that artificially make me come across as happy. I believe in being authentic, and chemical medicine treatment alters me, perhaps in the most respectful way possible. It is similar to me refusing treatment for terminal illness. I just don't want treatment. I have a strong, do not resuscitate, living will form in case medical decisions must be made. In my life I've had sleep therapy, shock therapy, range of different antidepressants and anxiety medicines, natural treatments, and even with these fully amped up, I rationally and cognitively decided to die and communicated this to my close friends and wife. I confirmed with my financial advisor that all financial instruments are in good standing, and my wife will have millions to start new life. I spend 2 to 3 weeks preparing with her what that life could look like, and how embracing it is important, or my dying will not achieve the better life I want for her and the kids. I'm clear that me being half living, irritable and reclusive is not in any of their interests. I'm doing harm by being this way amongst them. I prayed with a preacher for my sins, there are many, and for forgiveness of what I was going to do the 30th of November. I said goodbye and blessed my wife on her new journey, and wished her a joyful, loving, meaningful and purposeful life. We had a peaceful ending. And then I made a mistake in how I took my medicine. To avoid gagging or vomiting on the metallic taste of the medicine, I consumed it with something that impacted the effectiveness. Silly mistake, and I should have known better. The real issue is the 3 weeks since, people that know and was part of the day on the 30th of November, especially my wife, don't know how to react or engage with me. To be honest, it took me a proper week to starting thinking again. Having resolved that I'm dying, I had no future plans, thoughts or intentions. I had nothing. They had nothing for me, as I was not supposed to be there. Given how hard it's been over 3 weeks to find connection with especially my wife again, I'm clear and resolved that I should see through what I had started and die. I can't blame my wife, as the future world I promised her after my death was compelling. Not having it now must be disappointing. What I've learned: if I've decided to die, do it, don't mess it up. It's really hard for people to adjust to you living if they were prepared that you were dying. As good as I thought it was to prepare people that I'm choosing to die, most people do not know how to respond to that scenario. Don't tell my wife that it's happening at this time on this day. The emotional distress is too much. Rather let the natural instinct and reaction be her guide. Being comfortable to die is not an easy process for those that are continuing to live to accept or understand. Making a mistake and not die was not a scenario any of us were prepared for. Even if people say they don't judge, they do. Being around after mistake of not dying means you are around to be the object of their emotional distress and anger aimed at you. To be honest, that's fair. I did after all, cause the state of things. Don't promise people that you've decided to live If you haven't committed to yourself, being in limbo is hard. No one is reaching into your world to help as you've done good job at communicating your decision. Make this in-between time as short as possible. 3 weeks is too long as nothing changed. I have before and after in my consciousness. But with nothing changed in mind or action, I'm in a world similar to being a fish out of water. I don't belong anymore. The post is to express my experience and not to gather advice or seek support in living. It's the only place I could think of sharing reflections on my journey. Thank you for this opportunity.